God cannot do does not exist. This is Clara and Fred from United Kingdom, Northern Ireland, and we are here to share our testimony on how God delivered me from death. I think you're going to be the one to share everything because you saw everything.
It was on the 16th of December. Clara was admitted to hospital, and when we got there, she was bleeding very badly, and the doctors were all scared. And before we knew it, they transferred her from one hospital to ICU unit. And when we got there, we didn't know what was happening. And before you know it, they said, what's it called? This is a critical emergency. They said she has some 5% chance of survival. And, so the doctors, they were confused at first. They said, the condition is a very rare blood disorder called TTP. I can't even try and mention the meaning of this, thrombotic something Purpura.
Thrombotic Purpura.
Purpura, that's the full name of TTP. Every time she was receiving about 24 units of plasma exchange.
Which is white blood cell.
Which is the white blood cell.
Every day.
Every day. And when we got there, they said her platelet level was, about 9%. So on the average, any normal human being, your platelet level is supposed to be about from 150 upward. So it was critical. And she was bleeding actually, and when we got there, she was confused, disorientated, and as an NSPPDian, I always have this confidence that God is going to see us through. So I think the Wednesday before Christmas, and Pastor Jerry was praying, and I think that was, oh Lord, show me mercy. You could see the prayer was coming from the depth from his heart. He was tearful, and he was praying to God. He said, God, some people in ICU, please.
Because of this prayer, before the next 24 hours, anyone tied down in the hospital, anyone in the ICU, people who are struggling for their life, people who are wondering, will I come out of this? People who are wondering, is this how it will end? By the power of your mercy, let there be a turnaround.
When I heard that, I was on my way to see her in the hospital, and I just knew that God has done something, So when I got to the hospital that same day, and they said, oh, she has to leave ICU, and which was a miracle for me, because thrombotic
God will not give us the strength to pronounce that name. Yeah, it's not a good name.
How to pronounce, to be honest with you, So the doctors, they were amazed, and they now moved her from ICU to hematology, and that same week as well, because I was running to and fro from the hospital when Pastor Jerry made mention of thrombotic. It wasn't thrombotic to pacetic purpura or anything like that, but it was something thrombotic. I just said, well, God has used Pastor Jerry to mention thrombotic. I'm going to claim it. Every time I go to the hospital, I'll put an SPPD prayer and everything. I'll pray, and despite the doctor's report, someday they'll come up and to tell us that the platelet level has dropped, the Adams 13 level has dropped. The Adams 13 is something that is responsible for the blood clotting, and I started reading about a lot of stuff there. Adams 13, dropped several times, but as God was having it, everything started picking up during prayer.
So TTP is a rare blood disease caused by autoimmune disease too, and it can happen to anyone. It doesn't have signs, it doesn't have symptoms, it's just happened. It's a very rare blood condition that it only happened to 4 to 5 people amongst millions of people in a year. So why I had it, I don't know. But what I know is that God has delivered me from the shore of death, and we are here to give back our testimony. Pastor Jerry, we always say this testimony is for God. Don't let it be delayed. I was only discharged from the hospital a few days ago, and I said, honey, we're not going to wait until 1 year, until 1 month, until 1 week before we share this testimony. We need to share it now. So we they pray, they show. God is good. And Pastor Jerry, the oil on your head will never run dry, as everyone will say. God will keep on strengthening you. You don't even know what you're doing for us, though. Every one of us, those in diaspora, you don't know what you've done for us. You know, when I came into the hospital at first, the result was like either brain bleed, stroke, or death on spot. But with everything they gave, I'm here speaking with my mouth to give back my testimony. God is good. What God cannot do does not exist.